green screen to make it apropos to what we're doing today, which is anytime we get a chance to do it, we're gonna yap. As in Yap Break Radio. Ba, 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 ba. I wish I could do sound effects here or anything to accompany the sound. An intro of some sorts. Maybe you got suggestions. If you do, drop them in the comments. I'm right here to hear them. I'm here to listen. I'm here to play catch up with a lot of you. Yeah, Break Radio, of course. It's me, Who This, at Who This Is One. I'm just making sure everything's okay here on my end. Technically speaking, yes, it should be fine. Okay, good. We're here, we're live, and let me just do this real quick so it's there in the chat as well. Okay, it's not pasting. Why not? What did I title this shit? Let me see. Hold on. One sec. Sub, please. Oh my god, I can't type today. What the fuck? And this fucking touch bar on this MacBook Pro, I don't know, went out on me or it's dying or it like flickers every so often where I can't even like decipher whatever the fuck's going on. All right, hold on. God damn you. All right, let's pin that shit. Put it right here. There we go. All right, cool. That's good. Now back to business here on Yap Break Radio. Again, I am Who This, at Who This Is One. Is the tag, is the way to get in touch with me on social media as far as reaching out to me that way, that shape or form. Whatever you choose to do. I'm not on Snapchat because as I explained before in the past couple of lives and past episodes of whatever I do, Snapchat got extra naughty even for me. Nasty. Non-consensual images were shared with me. I wouldn't mind if it was females. To be honest, I wouldn't mind if it was a female or females sending me unsolicited nudes. Be right up my alley. Fuck it. Unless it was like Fat Ugly, then, you know, I have to call them out and then probably report them too. But I was getting guys sending me stuff. And yeah, this is when I had no hair already. So I don't know what the interpretation or misinterpretation of that was. I was sending no signals, no open invites whatsoever to get that from guys of all beings. So I had to get off Snapchat. So that's why I'm not on Snapchat. I did a little clip of that too as well in my shorts here on YouTube. You want to check that out. So back to business, of course. Yap Break Radio is when I take the opportunity to give myself the chance when time is afforded, which is a lot more often than not, to yap briefly about whatever went on, whatever's on my mind, whatever's going on out there. I don't know. Also, if you're in the comments, you feel like, you know, engaging, chatting, yapping as well too, feel free to do so. Jump in, all good here on my end. I have nothing against that whatsoever. And just in case, of course, this is my microphone. Please don't think it's anything else or anything it shouldn't be on screen. Let me just hold it a little more up so you can see that it's my mic. So the audio is better than it should be if it was just the phone speaker or microphone picking me up. Just to do it justice, just, you know, trying to be technical with it, of course. Still out here in Brooklyn, still doing my thing, and being out there in Brooklyn today for the first time in a long time, walking for a significant amount of time. I had to go to the gym, had to do some shopping, had to go make some pit stops per se, and also had to go visit Popeyes, which I have gone to Popeyes up in Buffalo. They do exist up there. A lot of them, actually. A lot of them, it's a good amount of them. There's no shying away from goddamn Popeyes out there. They got all the chains up there. And then they got the exclusives that are only up there, like Tim Hortons, which is basically just Canada-friendly Dunkin' Donuts, which is really, literally the same thing, in case you're ever curious. So, you ever hear about Tim Hortons? Basically, it's just like a Canadian-friendly, their version that crossed the border over to the States of Dunkin' Donuts, basically. Same exact thing, pretty much. Maybe, granted, they might have a couple of things on the menu or available that might be a little different, or I'd say maybe even more visually appealing than what Dunkin' Donuts usually has on its like shelves or whatever. And the amount of donuts they end up throwing out at the end of the day too, or maybe they just like package and repurpose for the following day. I don't know how it works, but I have seen them throw out a bunch of shit. Or when I used to get lucky, or I was really fat like that too, and I kind of knew already by when I used to live in Queens, the one that wasn't too far from me. Whenever I went to go do the laundry, I would always almost time it right to when they were about to close, like 15, 10 minutes shy of. They weren't taking no more mobile orders. You'd have to go in and actually order whatever they got left, the coffee and such and such. And then if you ask for a donut, 9 times out of 10, they'll end up giving you like three, at least an extra one just on the house because they got to get rid of them otherwise, right? Not sold for the day. So there's that, a little, I'm sure enough people know how to do that or figure that out over time, but just a little hack in case you want to do that. I haven't tried that with Tim Hortons just because the couple of times I've been to Tim Hortons, like I mentioned before, one time I wasn't really wowed. It was just kind of the same shit you would get from Dunkin' Donuts, and thank God there is Dunkin' Donuts up there too. They close really early. I think one of them closes at like, I think the one closest to me might close at like 7 o'clock, and then there was another one that closed by like 5 o'clock each and every time I passed by it. So I don't know if the business is slow for that one specifically, or they just don't feel like doing so. But then again, it might be that thing like individual owner versus like what the chain does in general. I don't know how that works in Dunkin' Donuts logic. But the second time I went to Tim Hortons after that, and the last time I've gone since, was just, again, I explained already in the past live, but it was a whole debacle just trying to get sugar on the side for the otherwise iced coffee with just half and half that I ordered, which was enough of a struggle to get done by this person that barely spoke the language, which I'm not criticizing them for that, but if you're gonna work with customer service of all things, I think the most courteous thing you could do, to who you're going to be serving as the customers coming in to buy from your product at the store, the establishment you're buying from, is at least learn the language enough to understand what they're asking. Now, me asking this person, sugar on the side, maybe a bit of an advanced lesson in this thing called English, perhaps, but I'm not hating. But I am saying, if I'm ordering sugar on the side, it's not like I said sugar with the order. I said specifically large iced coffee, half and half. That's it. And then I guess I made the mistake of this person to tell them or ask them sugar on the side afterwards. Can I get some sugar on the side? So like 3, 4 times maybe till a coworker had to step in and be like, oh, what is it you want? Like, not like instigating nothing, but just like, oh, what seems to be the problem kind of thing? What's the holdup? I'm like, no, I just want some sugar on the side. Then he went and got it, and she still didn't get it until literally he put the package of sugar in my hand. It's like, oh, whatever, but she said nothing anyway. In the comments, we got Russia-077. Ooh, you got me there. You know what? There was a little bit when I was doing Duolingo intensely for Russian specifically that I could probably read that. I'm gonna attempt it. You feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, if I do all right, or I do very terrible. Что... I know the first one's что, that's easy. What? What? Что I don't know the other word. I'm sorry, but I'm too lazy to translate that right now. But hello to Russia-077, or what's your real name? Let me know what your real name is if you care to share that too, or nickname, whatever you prefer to. But hello to you. And is it привет? Yeah, привет, I guess. Yeah, hello. However you say it. Hello in Russian, basically. So yeah, that was Tim Hortons. That happened that time. Annoying enough, Tim Hortons having to deal with that shit. But touching back on my younger days, my way back in the days of being a true to form, just forever and always will be in me, New Yorker, born and raised in Queens practically. Jaywalking is kind of like a secondhand thing. You don't think of it much, you just do it because it's just in you to do so. And the older you get, the better you get at it. Like I hope you would a lot of things, like maybe paying your taxes or getting a job or something like that. I'm kidding, of course. But jaywalking is just like, it goes hand in hand with being a New Yorker, liking your coffee a certain way, or just knowing how to get somewhere fast enough, zipping around through people, especially nowadays with The tourists are still here, even after the New Year's in New York. So you gotta like really zip around, like do a whole little game plan, job man type shit to just get around. What did you say? Привет. Okay. I say hello. Hello to you too. Hello, my dear, to you as well. Thank you for being here today. From your part of the world, of course. I very much appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so I can subscribe back to you as well. And yeah, привет always. Привет. If I'm saying it right. So being a true to form New Yorker, again, it's like a prerequisite. It's like, you know how you want your coffee? You know where to go to get your bagels if you like them a certain way? Or maybe this place has the good bagels, but that other place over there has like for me, for example, like the scallion cream cheese spread I prefer, that they don't have at the place where I get the bagels from, right? You also know that jaywalking is something that, again, you learn to adapt and you learn to fine tune over time to the point where it's kind of like that. You don't even think about it twice. But I'm so cautious by nature where even though I know to jaywalk and it's unwritten law, like you can jaywalk and not get in trouble with the police, of course, it's been like that since I was born. You know how to do it, but I do it, and I do this thing that may be rare. You might criticize a little bit if you're also in New York and you jaywalk. I do this. I look both ways before I walk, and I actually commit to the jaywalk. That's just me, though. I don't know. Don't you know a lot of Russian? I should know more at this point, honestly, but I haven't done the Duolingo Russian thing for, I want to say months. I'm gonna get back on it, I promise. To you and to, everybody else in my life now that knows Russian, and I probably should know some by now, but, привет. Like I said before, I think galupsi, one of my favorite things that my mother-in-law makes, the chicken stuffed cabbage rolls. I know some numbers, like I mentioned. Sven, Shatiri, Dwa, Nol, Wolfin, I think. 8 is my favorite number. I think I'm saying it wrong, but that's what the the one I meant. What's the other one? Sviter, I know that. No hoodie, the Sviter without this. No. Oh, I know that. No. I think Harasho. Is Harasho thank you? I forget. And what else? There was a couple other things. Biciclette, I think, for bicycle. Machina, I think for, I don't know if that's for car or that's for like a van, truck specifically. Ambulette, I think for ambulance, because I used to work in customer service for health insurance, and sometimes they would need that, specifically the Russian speaking kind. And what else? There's something else I knew. Это что мой свитер? I think that's the most I ever got with the Duolingo. Duolingo is good, but just I got lazy. And I got so busy too with other stuff that I just kind of set it aside. I'm going to get back to it, just so I can speak, of course, to Russia-077, of course. Be glad to speak with you one day in Russian. Maybe I'll even do a whole stream in Russian. Who knows? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. You don't know English well either. That's okay. I'm not going to judge you on whether you do or you don't know English. I don't know Russian. You don't know English that well. It's okay. It's like a fair exchange. But early today, what I didn't miss was seeing the nonchalant, the entitled, and also the boneheaded jaywalkers, as opposed to me. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm better than this person was. But this lady, in Brooklyn, of course, it makes sense. Brooklyn is where a lot of laws get broken on a regular basis. Me being from Queens, we are more civilized. We tend to have, streets with numbers that make sense. Even though I know Queens is guilty of having, on this end of the block, it'll be 103rd Street, and on that end of the block, it somehow is 107th Street, all along Corona Avenue, or whatever part of Corona that was when I saw that for the first time ever. And up until that point, I was like, there's no way that happens in Queens. That's all bullshit. That's people hating from outside the fucking boroughs. all that, whatever. But then when I saw that decades ago with my own very eyes in Corona, I was like, oh shit, we are guilty of that. And then, of course, I lived in Rego Park before I moved up to Buffalo. So, yes, it is real. That little vortex, that little like hub where it's like 63rd Ave, Drive, Road, Lane, whatever else you want to add to it, it's real. And I would still, even though I lived in that part of Rego Park for like, since 20, give or take 8 years, I still could not tell you confidently if you asked me which way is 63rd Drive. I still couldn't tell you, is it this way? No, I think that one's road and that one's avenue. This one's this over there. This variant of 63rd something. I wouldn't be able to tell you. And I didn't even live that close to it. I lived right off of Woodhaven. So I know Woodhaven's like a whole long stretch of just fucking never-ending shit, apparently, and all the side streets that go along with it. But that's Queens talk. In Brooklyn, though, you know, they got the very simplistic, basic ass, you know, Avenue, whatever letter up until Avenue Z, pretty much. Because I guess the public education system out here in Brooklyn knew that all the Brooklyn natives were at a severe disadvantage of perhaps not knowing their ABCs like that. So they figure, you know what? By default, we got to do a service to the community out here in Brooklyn, and we got to teach them at least the bare minimum, their ABCs. All the fucking letters down, in this case, Ocean Parkway, for example. It's full of just the fucking letters of the alphabets as avenues. So I commend Brooklyn for doing that for their natives. Because otherwise it wouldn't know shit. But then maybe they should have done the streets like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Street, kind of like that. I don't know. Brooklyn is a big borough. I ain't gonna deny that. But honestly, to me, now listen, I haven't experienced a lot of Brooklyn besides some parts, and my favorite part of Brooklyn, if I had to pick one, would probably be Dumbo or directly under the Manhattan Bridge overhead. Because it looks so much closer to Manhattan now than, you know, even back when. I still always liked it because of the Brooklyn Bridge. I like to walk it, cross it wherever I get the chance afforded. I'm gonna make time to take a day specifically, you know, regardless of how cold it is outside, and hopefully it ain't snowing, to walk the Brooklyn Bridge again. It's kind of like a yearly tradition thing I've done every so often. Russia-077, how do I learn English? I can't do it, I'm slurring my words, please give me some advice. Oh, Duolingo. If you have access to Duolingo, I don't know what kind of phone you use, but if you can download Duolingo, I think there's a desktop version for the computer. I think it could be the best help possible, you know. If I knew Russian well, or a lot better, I would say just email me, you know, reach out to me on, you know, Instagram or TikTok, whatever, and then we could practice. I could teach you that way, but I don't know Russian well enough to do so, to offer that. But I would say Duolingo, because that is how I learned the very little Russian I picked up on. But again, that was maybe like, to be honest, like a week, maybe 2 weeks I did that. So I would recommend that. Duolingo, or like all these free English learning programs, like the amount of people learning English outside of the US nowadays, it's really impressive. And the way they learn so well too, it's really, you know, good. But you can also follow me on social media, like this same name I have here. You can just, you know, use that too, reach out, and then, you know, we can figure something out. I don't know. But you teach me Russian, I'll teach you English. I don't know, maybe it could work that way. Who knows? Who knows? Strawberry_gaming. Hi, hello, you're back. Yes, you're back. Hello to you too. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming back. It's Sunday, of course. So yeah, back to what I was saying, right? So jaywalking is au naturel to a New Yorker like me, to so many of us out here, born and raised, right? Queens, Brooklyn, Staten, the Bronx, Manhattan, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. But this one bitch, and I gotta say it, I hate to say that about a woman, but I gotta say it in her case. She was dressed from head to toe a straight up bitch with a capital B, because she's got the fucking, what do you call those? The Uggs. Outside is cold. Not too terrible today, but still cold. She's got not even sweatpants, pajama pants on. Roll out of bed, threw on the fucking, the Uggs. No, not the Uggs. Those are the Funkmaster Flex things. The, is it Uggs or Lugs? No, Lugs is a Funkmaster Flex thing. Uggs, I mean to say, the things that the girls like a lot. The Uggs, the pajama pants, and threw on the long pea coat, what do you call that? The trench coat, I guess? Winter coat, I guess, let's say. The one that goes almost up to the ankles like that, right? Messed up hair, sunglasses for whatever reason. So God knows what she was doing all night leading up to this, like, almost early afternoon when she decided to step out, almost bumps me as she's getting out of her house to the corner where I'm waiting for the light to change because, yes, I could absolutely jaywalk. I could have done so if I wanted to, but then also I don't want to die while I jaywalk, while I do so. It's my choice to stay alive, as they call it. And instead of jaywalking, you know what I do? I just wait because, as I said before, even though I live by the law as a New Yorker, jaywalking is A-okay so long as you stay safe, right? I do this thing. I look both ways. There, here, it's all clear. Let me jaywalk. If it's all clear, let me jaywalk. I've never been one of those assholes that just go tunnel vision straight ahead and just think, oh, it's unofficial written law. We can jaywalk. Who's gonna say anything? They gotta stop it. They see the pedestrian. The pedestrian has right of way. No, 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 no. I've been hit. I've been so close to getting hit so many times. The couple of times I've done that, just blindly cross without looking. And even when I wear headphones outside, anything of the sorts, I keep one ear open, one ear with an earbud, because I need to know what's going on around me in case I do choose a jaywalk, because I do it here, I do it up in Buffalo, wherever I go, I'm gonna jaywalk. If it's free and clear to go ahead, I'm gonna take the go ahead right now, right? This girl, however, how's I described her, messy, disheveled, all that shit. She just buzzes right past me. No excuse me, no nothing. I'm like, whatever, it's all right. I mean, we're out the corner anyway. But she cuts right across in front of me to stand right in front of me, to not even look, straight tunnel vision, and plows through the block with a car buzzing by her, right off her ass. It was crazy to see. At Inferno Specs, Russia, I can help you learn English. You can help me with my Russian. There you go, right there. Russia-077. Why did it not pop up here? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you got that offer from Inferno Specs to do so. You teach him Russian? Yeah, he'll teach you English. You teach him Russian. Yeah, that could work. Good on you to offer that Inferno Specs. Good on you. It's very commendable, humane of you to do so. So she crosses. This car buzzes right, like, past her ass. It was that close. Like, it could have scratched her ass had it been any closer. She's going through like a horse in a race, tunnel vision, like with the straps on the side, not looking sideways, not looking left, right, nothing. Not like I'm saying I'm perfect, but I want to stay alive enough to know I can jaywalk the next block if I get the opportunity afforded to me too. I'm walking all the way down Ocean Parkway to get back to where I'm going to, and she's still she crossed over to the other side, same thing. Tunnel vision, doesn't look sideways, nothing, just plows on through. One of those entitled bitches, where if you hit her, God forbid, you would have hit her. Anybody would have hit her. She would have been the one tossing and turning in the street, out my neck, my back. Look at, tattooing your license plate on her brain enough to know where and who to sue and how much you might have potentially as far as the net worth is concerned. It's minimal, it's trivial, I get it, but it always bothers me to see that because jaywalking, I get it. We have that, afforded to us as New Yorkers to do so. But it's also, I look at it as a luxury because not only are we able to do that with no problems, but the police don't even bother us if we do it in plain sight. Hold on a second.